Hello and welcome. My name is Lakshaya and I'm an intern at LEXIS and Co. I'm a student of the law, third year in New Law College, Pune. And the topic for the day is vicarious liability under Indian judicial system. Usually, a person responsible for his own shortcomings and wrongs, and the liability arisen out of the wrongs is borne by the wrongdoer himself and not others. But in certain cases, vicarious liability can be upheld, which is essentially the liability of one person is held for the act of another person. For vicarious liability to go through, the wrongful act committed must establish a relationship between both the parties. In general, a person responsible for his or her own wrongdoings, but not for the wrongdoings of others. However, vicarious liability or the accountability of one person for the actions of another may occur in circumstances. Examples of such liability are principal liability for his agent's torts, principal liability for each other's torts, the master's liability for his servant's torts. As a result, vicarious liability refers to a situation in which one person is held accountable for actions of another. It is regarded an exception to the general rule that a person is only accountable for his own actions in the field of torts. It is founded on the idea of qui fecit per se por eliam facit per se, which states that he who performs an act through another is judged to perform it himself in law. In a case of vicarious liability, both the persons who order the conduct and the other person who performs it are held accountable. As a result, employers are held vicariously accountable for the torts committed by their employees while on the job. Several justifications have been presented for the imposition of vicarious liability. The master has the largest bank account. In some circumstances, the defendant's wealth or the knowledge that he has access to resources through insurance has had an unintentional influence on the formation of legal rules. Vicarious liability supports accident avoidance by providing financial incentive for an employer to encourage his staff or to consider the safety of others. Because the employer profits from his employees' activities, he should also bear any losses incurred as a result of those activities. The constituents of vicarious liability arise as follows. First, there has to be a relationship of some kind. Second, the wrongful act must be related to the relationship in a certain way. Third, the wrong act must be done in the course of the employment. Several justifications have been presented for the imposition of vicarious liability. Vicarious liability refers to a situation in which one person is held liable for the actions of another. It is regarded as an exception to the general rule that a person is only accountable for his own actions in the field of law. In case of vicarious liability, as a result, employers are held vicariously accountable for the torts committed by their employees. In order for A to be held liable for an act committed by B, there must be some sort of link between A and B, and the wrongful act must be tied to the relationship in some way. As a result, a master is accountable for his servant's actions if they occur during the course of employment. However, if someone hires an independent contractor to conduct work on his behalf, he is not normally liable for any torts committed by the contractor during the course of the task, with the exception of a few very rare circumstances. As a result, the servant and the independent contractor are both bound by a contract of service and a contract of service. The control test was used exclusively in the past to distinguish between the two. However, in today's world, this is insufficient testing because there is no single test. Only by balancing diverse aspects with the help of several tests such as nature of employment test, the integral component of the business test, allocation of financial risk, economical reality test, multiple tests, and the control test can be a meaningful outcome accomplished. That was all for vicarious liability under Indian Judiciary. I hope you understood. Have a great day.